What's up, YouTube? My name is Josh. This is the Den of Nerds. I'm joined with Justin yet again for another Dragon Ball Super video. Justin, what's going on, man?
Ton of stuff is going on in Dragon Ball Superman. We got the Universe Survival arc coming up, which looks to be the greatest event in Dragon Ball history. And that's not just me saying that to hype you up. I legitimately believe this.
Damn. No, that's ridiculous. That deserves a mic drop. I'm going to take my mic. No, I'm not going to take my mic off and drop. But we could, because I agree with you. I think this is the maximum opus. This is it. This is the big show. When it comes to Dragon Ball, this feels like I dare say the Dragon Ball canon is blowing its wad, blowing its load. The proverbial load is being blown with this arc.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
everything is going to build up to this moment right here.
It's crazy. If you don't know what we're talking about, guys, then get out from under that rock, enter some stuff into your Google machine, and find out what the hell we're talking about, because Dragon Ball Super has gotten to this point where the thing that was introduced in Battle of Gods, the 12 universes, which all the Dragon Ball fans were super hyped on, we were like, holy crap, they just expanded the canon and the mythos by 1,000,000, the possibilities are endless, holy crap, there's 12 universes. You are going to get now a tournament where all of the universes are bringing combatants in, and all of these people are going to fight in a tournament, and the stakes are high. Justin, what are the stakes?
The stakes are higher than they could have ever been. If you lose the Universe Survival Tournament, Omni King Zeno will destroy your universe.
Yes, that bears repeating. If you lose in the Omniversal Tournament, your universe is gone. Not just you, not just your family, not just your planet or your galaxy, solar system, whatever. Your universe will be gone. And I assume that in the way that Zeno destroyed the universe, or the I guess it's a pocket universe from the Future Trunks arc, that we can assume is probably the way he would do it, right?
Oh yeah, pretty much the same way. And if you remember, there used to be more universes until Zeno got really angry one day and it just sort of blew some up.
You know, it's so funny. He seems like such a happy guy. I don't understand why he would want to destroy all these universes. But you know what? It reminds me, there's a lot of really, awesome stuff in Dragon Ball. We love Dragon Ball. But it reminds me of this kind of Zen philosophy and really like Bhagavad Gita kind of stuff, where it's just like, look, to the sage, no one's especially great, no one's especially bad. It's just like they're all straw dogs. You're just impartial to everything. And that kind of is the vibe I get from Zeno, is that he just doesn't really care. It's not that he's a dick. It's just to him it doesn't really matter. I mean, would you agree with that?
I mean, when you are the king of the entire multiverse, I feel like a lot of things are peanuts to you.
Yeah, that's true. Fair point. Very fair. Okay, so the first thing we wanted to talk about in this video was the lineup. The Universe 7 lineup. Our heroes have how many people on the roster?
Our heroes have 10 people on the roster, and it looks to be an absolutely excellent roster. I'm looking at an image right now and be reading this from left to right. First off, we got Majin Buu, who, if you'll remember, wasn't allowed to compete in the last tournament, having failed the written test.
Yes.
I am unsure if he'll actually participate, but they'll probably let him participate.
Right, for sure.
Next, we got Krillin. Following after Krillin, we got Android 18,
the wifey.
So husband and wife tag team duo.
Yes.
Next to that, probably one of the most surprising entries of all on this list, next to one I'm going to be talking about later. Android 17 is coming back.
Yes.
They'll be fighting again. Will we see Super 17? I hope so.
Maybe.
We'll see.
I hope so.
Goku, Vegeta, though, those were givens.
Yes.
After that, we got my boy, Ultimate Gohan, returning.
Yes.
Becoming the legend as he was supposed to, in my mind. After that, we got my favorite combatant, and the one that is probably the craziest on this list, Master Roshi.
Yes.
Will be fighting for the survival of Universe 7. And after that, we got Tien, and finally, PIccolo.
Yes.
So what do you think about this lineup, Josh?
I love the lineup. I think it's cool. Something that you and I have talked a lot about off air is bringing the C-listers and the B-listers into the spotlight, giving them a little more shine. You know what I mean? It's been the Goku Vegeta show, and so I think it's cool that we've got these other characters coming into prominence. And if the Universe 6, Universe 7 tournament is any indication of what this means, I think it's going to be cool. They're going to showcase some awesome abilities here, give us fan favorite stuff. And yeah, so I like the list a lot. And I'm sure you do too, right?
Oh, for sure, for sure. That's always been my biggest problem with Dragon Ball, is that after a while, a lot of the, old timers from the original series just became completely irrelevant once Super Saiyan was introduced. And to see those people coming back into a spotlight is, I feel, Toei and Toriyama in general realizing that and just bringing in this X factor to keep the series fresh. Because, I mean, man, I love seeing Goku and Vegeta fight as much as the next guy, but some of the crowning moments of awesome from Dragon Ball Z were, like, say, when Gohan destroyed Cell,
yes,
or when we got to see Gotenks come in, and things like that.
So let's talk about each combatant real quickly in like a power scale kind of way, and like how valuable we think they're going to be to the team. So Majin Buu, let's assume he gets through the test and is on the team. I mean, he's a good pick, right? I mean, he's really strong.
He is. He was, if you remember from the last tournament, he was the fifth. He was one of the combatants, like one of the last ones picked from Earth, other than, PIccolo and the Pocket Seed Manaka was the only person that was not from Earth. But Majin Buu is formidable. He is strong. A lot of people seem to forget that because, he acts like a child.
Sure.
But back in the Buu arc, he was a real legitimate threat, and Goku needed to go Super Saiyan 3 to go toe-to-toe with him.
Agreed.
So I think he's going to be a pretty strong, valuable member of the team.
100% agree. I think he's really strong, and I love when he gets angry. One of my favorite moments from the movie was when he sticks his tongue all over the pudding for Beerus, and it's so funny. Every time I'm at Applebee's and I see those little dessert shooters come out, I want to go over and pull a Majin Buu and lick them all real quick and do that.
Oh my gosh!
But so for story purposes and for strength, I think Majin Buu, boom, good pick. After we do this, maybe we can rank them all too. That'd be kind of fun. But let's go to Krillin. So what do you think about Krillin on the team? How valuable is he to the team?
Krillin, if you had asked me before these last two episodes, I would have said not very valuable at all. Yes, Krillin is the strongest human on Earth, period. He is. But he, slacked off in his training a lot. Being a police officer, you could tell he was starting to slip. But after this most recent episode with Goku, where he decides to become a martial artist again and has this insane power boost, I feel like Krillin is actually going to bring a decent amount of stuff to the table. A lot of people seem to forget that the Kienzan, the Destructo Disc, is probably one of the most damaging abilities in Dragon Ball.
Correct.
And I legitimately don't understand why Goku doesn't use that over the Kamehameha.
For sure. No, for sure. That's a good point. I was going to say that. Also, I think a cool thing is on this promotional stuff that we're showing you guys right now. Notice that his head is shaved. His head is shaved. I think that's back to business look. You know what I mean? That's the look of somebody who's back to their old ways, training, like you said. And these last two episodes indicate that, yeah, he's getting a substantial power boost. And yeah, the Destructo Disc, I mean, potentially it could have even chopped Frieza in half on Namek. So, yeah, I think that's awesome. Real quick, do you think he's going to chop anybody in half?
Absolutely. We do have some footage from him in the promotional videos
he
is using the Kienzan.
Yup.
I am really excited to see Krillin chop someone in half. Is he going to be as physically formidable as some of the other fighters? Maybe not, but one of Krillin's big defining traits is that he's really smart.
True. And
I think he's going to find some way to outwit his opponent rather
True.
than overpower them. So Krillin, maybe not the most physically formidable pick, but he's going to surprise us at least a little bit. Do I think he'll end up being the defining thing that brings victory in the tournament? Absolutely not.
But we like Krillin, basically. Real quick prediction, I think he's going to chop Frost in half, which will be like a little fan nod to when he could have chopped Frieza in half. So I'm hoping that my boy puts an end to the evil Frost from Universe 6. That'd be kind of cool.
Oh, and a fan nod to when Frieza chopped himself in half.
True. Fair point. So let's go to the wife. 18.
Android 18.
Yes, how do we feel about 18 being on the team?
18, honestly, I don't know. 18 is obviously a very good fighter. She is one of the androids. They did completely eradicate all life in Trunks' arc, but I'm not entirely sure if android power levels can increase through training.
You know, that's an interesting point. I don't know that either, but I would just say that because she can give birth, it's possible that there's some kind of an organic capacity there, possibly enough to say that she could power up.
Yeah, I think the androids are actually like sort of a hybrid dealio between like human and machine. So they're technically more cyborgs than androids if you want to get really super duper technical in it.
Right.
But no, based on honestly just based on everything I have for me so far in the lore, I don't think 18 is going to be as strong as Super Saiyan 2. And I don't know if she's going to be able to bring much to the team, despite how much I enjoy her as a character.
Sure. Well, let's go right into 17 then, because standing right next to her, and we haven't seen this guy since he put his hand in the air and gave Goku some power to help defeat Kid Buu at the end of Z. Android 17. Back on
Android
the table.
17, I think, suffers from the same problem, but I have an unless here. Now, we know that in Japan, GT is actually fairly popular. GT is actually kind of well received in Japan. And 17, I can see bringing more to the table if by some complete out of nowhere pull, which Toriyama has been known to do a lot in Dragon Ball. If we see Super 17, I would love to see Super 17. He was my favorite villain from GT. I loved that entire fight.
Yeah,
and
it was cool.
I really think that if we see Super 17, 17 will bring a lot to the table. If we do not see Super 17, I think it's going to be the same situation as 18.
I agree. Not much to say for me, but I do agree with your point. If we get a Super 17, dope. So cool. And, I mean, obviously, he's strong. You know what I mean? Even if they don't give us Super 17, the androids are strong. Yeah, like you said, maybe not even quite as strong as Super Saiyan 2. But, yeah, I don't think he does that. So then we've got Goku and Vegeta. Do we even really need to talk about Goku and Vegeta?
I really don't think we need to talk about Goku and Vegeta. I mean, they're Goku and Vegeta. We know that they are the two strongest people in the universe. Some people are speculating maybe Vegeta is now stronger than Goku. Maybe they're just bouncing back and forth and we never get to see any sort of potential.
Right.
But Goku and Vegeta are unquestionably going to be the MVPs of this arc.
You know, it's funny you say that. I do think Vegeta is stronger, but in the preview, they suggest that Vegeta does not go train for this and stays home with his pregnant wife. And Goku goes and trains with Whis. So they're really they are definitely at that kind of a level where one takes a day off and slightly outshines the other, and the other one. I'll say this: Super's done a great job of developing Vegeta as a character. Toriyama, notorious for not even liking Vegeta, but using him effectively as a plot device. You can tell that the people at Toei right now, they enjoy Vegeta as a character, and they've done some things to him that I don't even think Toriyama would do. But that's just my little rant or whatever. But you're right. We don't even have to talk about him. Let's go right into Gohan. You know, you said Gohan was your boy. So explain yourself.
Gohan has always been my favorite character in Dragon Ball. Absolutely. Ever since we saw the Cell arc, and we get to see Gohan, surpass his father and destroy Cell with the father-son Kamehameha. I feel like that was what Dragon Ball Z was leading up to this entire time, was that we have, this human Saiyan hybrid who we have already been told likely has greater potential than a full-blooded Saiyan.
Right.
And that he has all this potential to surpass his father. We see him surpass his father once. Goku comes back in the Buu arc, gets subsequently drawn back into Otherworld, and then it's up to Gohan to fight Majin Buu as Ultimate Gohan. And fans, at least in America, I know, really, really like seeing Gohan show up and take charge. And a lot of people were really disappointed with Super because it seemed like Gohan just got completely shafted.
Yes.
Like, Gohan shows up to fight Frieza. We think he's going to be able to do something, but he can barely manage to go Super Saiyan.
Yep.
And then at the very end of everything, Gohan just gets destroyed.
Yeah, he gets totally destroyed. You know, there's been little hints. Especially in the more recent episodes that kind of hint to him making a big comeback. Now, when Future Trunks goes over there and sees him and his family and all that, and like, I don't know about you, but when I was watching that episode, I was like, oh my god, they're just rubbing it in our face, like how weak he's become and how all this. And what was cool was when Trunks says goodbye, when he goes back to his future, the last thing he sees is Piccolo and Gohan floating in the air. Gohan is in the orange key and nods to him. So, like, basically that to me was a little hint. At that moment, I expected, okay, we are going to get the comeback because he's training with Piccolo again. You know what I mean? And he even asked Piccolo to train him at the end of, I think it wasn't the Universal Tournament arc?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I believe so, yeah.
So they've kind of been playing that off in the background. Yeah, like you said, he's the hybrid. He's got the huge potential. So do I want to see Gohan make this awesome comeback? Absolutely. I think that out of all the characters that we have in this thing, he has the greatest potential to be on par with Goku and Vegeta. You know what I mean? It's definitely possible that's the thing here.
Yeah, Gohan is probably the most valuable fighter on this team, other than Goku and Vegeta. Will we see him go Super Saiyan Blue? I don't think so. Yeah, I really don't.
I don't necessarily think so either. You know, it's interesting because I think one of the things that they accomplished in the Universal Tournament was they allowed weaker characters to still have a place in the fold. It wasn't just about power levels. So Gohan doesn't necessarily even have to get to their power level to be a player in this thing. He could just essentially be at a high power level and have just his natural genius as a fighter and his ability, you know, in that sort of way. So hoping that's kind of, you know what I mean, that's kind of paid off, so to speak, and that's the way that they go with it.
I mean, we also have to keep in mind that one of Toriyama's big things about Dragon Ball, when the whole reason for the scouters and the power levels and them scanning their opponent and all that, is that power levels are fundamentally useless.
They are.
Power levels have been useless for the longest time. It's only led to the villains underestimating their opponent and getting absolutely destroyed. So maybe we as a fan base are underestimating Gohan. We'll probably see some really good surprises from it.
Yeah, that's true. That's really cool. So let's see. Next up on the list is a total scrub that we don't even have to talk about. But no.
How dare you?
So I said that we were talking off air, and Justin's super pumped that Master Roshi's in the fold. Speak to that, man. Why are you so pumped about the turtle?
How could you not be pumped for the Turtle Hermit? The legendary fighter from Earth, the creator of the Kamehameha, the most perverted old man in all of anime history,
yep.
Master Roshi.
Yes.
Do not tell me that you were not excited, that your heart didn't skip a beat when Krillin flies in to fight Frieza with Master Roshi. And you're like, well, what the hell is Master Roshi doing here? And he thrusts out his cane, and his muscles expand to like 20 times their normal size. And he just goes, all right, let's do this. And you get to see him annihilate a ton of Frieza soldiers.
It was cool. No, it was cool. It was cool. You know, it's funny. I just watched a video with Geekdom and MJ Campos, who hopefully will get on the Den of Nerds. I've done some videos with MJ before, and we'll get him on here to talk some Dragon Ball stuff. But they were talking about Roshi, and they're kind of convinced that Roshi's on there not to fight, but to sort of be like in the corner as like a person to help strategize, and he'll be the ring master or whatever you want to call it. That they speculated that maybe Beerus and Whis are not allowed to coach, and this is only going to be Negan's. It's only mortals. And so in that scenario, Roshi.
I could definitely see that. Roshi is an absolute genius when it comes to fighting. He's the one who was basically readying Goku and all of them to use the Mafuba against Zamasu.
True.
And he sent Goku and Krillin on their training, and he knew exactly what to do to get Krillin to overcome this mental block that was keeping him from becoming a great fighter. So I honestly would love to see Roshi fight, but I do agree with you that just even having Roshi as a coach in any capacity is just really great for the series. So in terms of overall team reliability, is Roshi an asset? Absolutely. Might he be even the greatest asset to the team if what you're saying is true and he is indeed just there for an advisory role? Quite possibly.
Yeah,
Quite possibly.
It's true. In that role, I could see him really shine. It would be cool to see him get out there and mix it up with some people. Now, we haven't really seen any of that in the previews or anything like that, but it would be cool, and there's probably people he could handle. I mean, let's be honest. There could be a bunch of scrubs in this tournament. We don't really know how these other universes are set up and all of that. So let's go to the next one, and the next one is Tien. Where's Tien been?
Out of nowhere. He's been wandering off of Chaozu, training every once in a while.
Apparently walking on the beach, from what we saw in the preview, just walking on the beach with Chaozu, which is
That's just
cool.
all he's been doing for the past few years, just walking on that same beach.
It's a long beach, or maybe it's an island and he's just going in a circle. No, but I like Tien a lot. I'm pumped to see him on there. He's always had a way of having cool techniques that actually make an impact. I mean, I'll never forget when he was keeping Cell down. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, with Neo Tri-Beam.
Yeah.
Just completely pummeling Cell into the ground at the expense of his own life.
Yeah.
That was
awesome.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah, so, we could see something like that. It'd be cool to see him mix it up. And, for all the ancillary stuff, I mean, they could do a sweet, Dokkan card for him. They've got that new Dragon Ball card game that's coming out, so you could see some eventual stuff for that. But what do you think about Tien? Is it cool that how effective is he going to be?
Speaking of how effective he's going to be, I don't really see him being super duper effective. We already know that Tien as a whole is weaker than Krillin. That's always been something they've been driving home for a while now, even in Dragon Ball Z and all that.
Right.
But, I mean, Tien has been keeping up with his training, so maybe he's surpassed Krillin. I don't know. Maybe we'll probably get just one moment out of him, something similar to the Cell situation, or maybe we'll just get something goofy out of him where he uses the volleyball fist or something like that.
Yeah,
I
who
don't
knows?
know.
They've been doing cool callbacks to Dragon Ball, so we could see, some nice callbacks to prior moves and all that. It'll be cool that he's in there. Definitely interesting because we haven't seen him in Super thus far, to my knowledge, right?
Only a couple times, just as a side character. We haven't really seen him do much.
Right.
Didn't we see him in Resurrection of Frieza?
I
thought we saw
think
him in
so.
Resurrection of Frieza.
He's definitely in the movie. I'm trying to think to the anime version of that, whether or not he was in there. I assume he was. Can't really recall. I did not like, actually, the anime version of that arc. I thought the movie was way better.
I did absolutely prefer the movie as well.
Yeah. But let's go to the last one, Piccolo. My boy Piccolo. What do you think
your
about
boy Piccolo?
Yes.
No, what do you think about Piccolo? Piccolo's your boy.
Well,
you tell me.
I'm pretty excited. First of all, I absolutely loved his fight in the Universe 6, Universe 7 arc. I thought that was awesome. Multi-form special beam cannon. Crazy.
Oh, yeah.
That was crazy. And he's just such a smart fighter. I've always thought that he and Vegeta, both incredibly smart fighters, which is really cool. So hopefully he gets to do some damage. I think that they've done really weird things with him power scale wise, because he was at the level of a Super Saiyan 2, back in the day, back in the Android saga. After he fused with Kame, he was incredibly strong, and I can't imagine him getting any weaker. So I just feel like they've done a poor job with him because he keeps getting beat, whether it be by chopsticks or thrown, into someone else. They kind of give him the shaft a little bit, and so I hope that we can see him, shining, especially if he's been training Gohan. If he's been training Gohan, you have to assume he's getting stronger, because Gohan should be that much stronger than him anyways. So for those two to be going at it in training, I think that would be awesome. I've always wanted to see what God Ki could be like in a Namekian. I think that would be dope. I don't think we'll get that. That's just fanboy hope. But yeah, so I'm pumped about PIccolo. What do you think about PIccolo?
I would like to see some of the more niche Namekian techniques coming out from PIccolo. I mean, let's be honest. What does everyone want to see from PIccolo? What does everyone want to see from Namekian? That giant form.
Yes.
Become a giant Namekian and pummel your opponent into the ground.
My main on Xenoverse 2 is a Namekian, and I love doing that and pounding people into the ground. It's awesome.
Oh, it's the strongest thing you can be in that game in my eyes. Just giant Namekian, pummel everything, destroy it. Kind of makes me sad since I play a Super Saiyan 3, but what are you going to do?
Yeah, what are you going to do? But no, that would be dope. That would be awesome to see him be able to do that. It'd be also cool to see other Namekians from other universes. We've seen other Saiyans, so it's possible that we could see some other Namekians. That would be kind of cool.
Oh yeah, give us another Namekian. Give us another evil Namekian.
Yes.
Give us a... Demon King PIccolo for regular PIccolo to fight against. Something like that.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. So that's pretty much what we think of the team from Universe 7. Overall, pretty happy with what we've got. I think they're good choices, bringing in, old-time fan favorites and whatnot. Obviously, no Yamcha, so that is what it is.
Who needs Yamcha?
Yeah, nobody. And no Goten or Trunks, which is kind of interesting. Not really sure. I would probably have to say Trunks and Goten stronger than at least 3 of these guys. You know what I mean? So
I'm not so sure about that.
Yeah.
Trunks and Goten have just been basically being kids
for
the longest time. They haven't really been training. I really don't think Gotenks would be an effective fighter just because he's so off the wall.
Yeah,
and I don't even think
might
Gotenks would be allowed.
Yeah, it might be illegal. Yeah, so maybe that's why or whatever. Interesting stuff.
For more fun-filled news and entertainment, subscribe to this channel and follow it on the social medias.